Hello and welcome to today's craft club. I hope you're all well. It's a lovely day outside. So today we are going to be making this a very popular rainbow motif that's been used recently for our NHS and care workers. So I thought we could make this and you can pop it in your window. It's freestanding as well and made simply from toilet roll holders are the main construction. So if you haven't saved your toilet roll holders, you can also use a towel from towels, and you can cut those down, paper towels, so you could have two from there. What we need to do first is paint them. So we're going to do the tree base first. So I've got one I've already painted earlier, and we're going to paint them a nice brown colour. It's so hot in here, my paint is drying up faster than I can pour it. Again, I'm using acrylics, so you mix those with a little bit of water. Let's see, I've got some water here, and it's always good again to have an old piece of paper that you don't mind getting paint on, because you will get dirty. Look at my fingers already before we've even started. So I'm going to paint my trees. So these are the tree trunks. So you can have lots of different trees. We're going to even decorate the trees. You can see this tree here, I've got some little apples on there. But it's up to you what sort of trees you want. You might want an apple tree, a pear tree maybe, just a lovely green tree, palm tree, depending on where you're making it. I'm colouring these in a nice brown colour. You need to go all the way around, mixing it as you go, and mixing the water with the paint. And don't worry, this is acrylic paint, so it will come off. It's quite good in between the breaks, we can go and wash our hands. I'm nearly there. Nearly covered. There we go. Another brown tree to go with my other one. So I'm just going to put that to the side whilst that dries. Now the other part we're going to do is we need a base here. So for the base, I've just cut out a piece of card. You could use an old cereal box maybe, or this was, I think I had a new duvet, treated myself to a new duvet. So I'm just gonna, haven't thrown that away, recycling, and I'm just gonna use that as well. So my base, again it's up to you, but my base is gonna be green because my rainbow's coming up from a nice field. So I'm gonna have to mix the green. Does anybody know how you get the colour green? Anyone? Well, if you don't know, you need some blue and also some yellow, and those mixed together will give us a nice green colour. So I've got my mixing palette here. I'm going to pop in a bit of blue. Oh lovely, a bit of breeze coming in then. And a bit of yellow. And we're going to mix it. I've cleaned my brush off in here. I also have a little bit of kitchen roll at the side, ready to just clean off my brush as we go. Mix those together, and you can see the green, if I hold that up, is coming together there. So would you know, so these is making a secondary colour, taken two primary colours, the yellow and the blue, and we've made a secondary colour, a nice green colour. So next then is just whack it all on, keep mixing the water with it. So I love this hot weather and all the flowers are out, but it makes me a bit sniffy with hay fever. Does anybody else get hay fever? Okay, this is a good workout for your arms as well as you're painting this. Maybe we could sing a song as we paint. You could even get a bit creative if you wanted, and you could draw some little daisies or things on your grass if you want to. Remember, as all of the craft clubs, I just give you the idea and it's your design. Okay, so I'm going to carry on painting this in a greeny colour, and if we can get back together once we've painted 2 trees, the barks, the stems and our field. Hello, you join me back now once I've finished painting my 2 trees, and I've also painted my base, and that's just drying off in this heat in the conservatory. It's drying off wonderfully, nice and fast. And I've also at the stage, I've folded a piece of card and I've cut out my 2 trees, the tops of my trees. So there we go, nice fluffy trees, they'll go on the front. And what I'm going to do, these ones I decorated just with by rolling bits of tissue paper, but for this one I've got some nice pom-poms that I think act like nice big ripe juicy apples. You might want to, there's lots of different things you can use. You could use buttons, that'd be nice, be great. I'm just going to stick them on with a bit of PVA glue, just randomly. Stick them on, lovely and fluffy. Okay, I'm gonna have 3, and then this one can have some nice green apples. Do we all like eating apples? Lovely on a summer's day, nice juicy apples. Okay, so there we go. So there's our apples ready on our trees. Now you might, actually I think I will add a bit of one more up there and go up there, and I'll leave that one at 3 because everything grows different in its own time. So I'm going to pop those there now, they're going to dry up, and now it's the important part. We're actually going to make our rainbow now. So this is quite a tricky part, making sure that we get the ovals. And I've got a piece of A4 card, and with a ruler, you might need some adult help here. There's 7 parts to it, so I'm going to draw a line down the middle of the paper and mark off 7 sections. Now I'm having the section, say, for about 1.5 centimetres wide each one. And then what you do with this piece, you can use a compass, but I found this works easy. I've just got some string, and if I just pop my pencil and hold down, I can just go across. And then once you've done one, you make the ribbon string a bit longer and go along. That's number 3. Number 4. So each time I'm making my string and moving my string, making it that little bit longer, and you need to really hold down as you take your string around. It's actually Dad that taught me how to do this type of thing. There we go. And I've got them all now lined up. If you can see that, I'm not sure if you can with the bright light. So we've got all the different colours, so it goes from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, dark purple and purple. Now I followed the NHS rainbow that I've googled online, but it's up to you. You might want to do something completely different. It is your design, so that's up to you. Now it's time for painting. So our first colour is red, so let's see. I've got a nice bright red. Give it a little shake first. Just a little bit of red in there. Now this will also need, you might be lucky, you might have all your colours, but I don't. So I'm going to have to be mixing some colours, learning my colours as we go along. And I'm doing, it's the bright colours first. So I've got a nice red going on. And it's quite good that the lines are there, because you can work in the lines, but don't worry about keeping it too neat, because it's nice, as you can see here, we've blended them in, which makes it just a bit more authentic, realistic looking. Just go over it one more time. Now as it dries, if you feel, you can always come back to it, have another little go. So there's my red. Then after red we're going to go for orange. Now does anybody know how to make orange? I'll give you a clue. It includes this colour that we've got here already, red, and then I'm going to add yellow. So we're mixing two primary colours, red and yellow, and we're going to make a secondary colour of orange. So let's see, I may have popped a bit too much in there. Let's just see. There, look at that, for a lovely orange colour. Can you see? It's great for mixing colours. Right, now, and I'm just going to start it slightly over the red, so that gives it a mixing, that just fades it in. Mix it in like that. So when was the last time you all saw a rainbow in the sky? Because we haven't had that much rain. And did you all make a wish as well? Make a wish on a rainbow. And I just want to thank Lily as well. Lily Rose, she gave me this idea. She watches my craft clubs and she's been in touch to say, why don't we do a rainbow? So here it is. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. I'm just going to clean my brush off now, because the next colour we have is a yellow. Now I've got yellow, so that should be quite simple. A bit of this yellow, nice bright yellow. Different types of yellows, but I'm going to go for a bright yellow. I love bright yellow. And again, add a bit of water and then just start it above, just on your orange, and that just blends it in nicely. There we go. That blends it lovely. Although it is drying very, very fast in here. Might have to go over my yellow a couple of times, I think, because I've picked up some of the orange, which is fine for blending, but not too much. So I'm just gonna go over that again. There we go. I should have mentioned that I've got a nice square brush. This really helps with going round the corners. That's great there. Okay, so we're doing well. We've got our third colour now. Next we're going to go for our green. Now we have got a bit of green from the grass, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit more blue. If you remember, it was blue and yellow to make the green, but I don't want it to be exactly the same as this green down here, so I'll just add a bit of yellow. It hasn't dried up already. There we go. Just to make it a bit bright. Okay, and I'm popping that one down. Off we go. You don't have to paint these. If you've got felt, you might prefer to colour it in with felt tip pens, that's fine, or coloured pencils is nice. Whatever you prefer using, your choice of materials. There's our green, and you can see how the colours are blending in now. So that's green, and after every colour I'm just giving my paintbrush a little wash. Right, now we have blue. Now I have got a nice bluey colour, so I think that will be okay. Just gonna add the blue there. And it's really good to just have a mixer here, this little container, a palette that I've used to mix my colours, but you can also use the back, maybe a margarine tub, the top of a margarine tub would be great, just so you can get your colours mixed. I'm going to put my blue on. Quite a lot of skill to this. Making sure that you go around. So if you want help from a grown-up, that's fine. And remember, you can go over any of these colours again once it's dried. If you think, oh, that's a bit not bright enough, a bit pale, you can go over the colours again. I'm quite happy with mine, I think. Just mix the blue a bit more, I will. As I say, it's so hot in here. Everything's drying so quick. There we go. There's my blue. So after blue, we have a couple of purples. We have a deeper purple, and then it kind of goes into a lighter purple. So do we know what colours to make purple? I'll give you a clue. It includes blue. Can you think what other colour you might add? Yes, that's right. A bit of red. So I'm going to use, because I'm having two different coloured purples. First one, I'm going to use the blue that I've had there and just add a bit of red. And then mix that. Oh yeah, look at that purple coming. Lovely purpley colour. Just check it on there. It might be a little bit too red, I think, so I'm going to add a bit more blue. And squidgy blue, squidging of blue. There we go. Off we go with this. Now, what's your favourite colour? I have to say my favourite colour is actually on here, because my favourite colour is pink. Although I do like this purple. Go. Lovely. There's our rainbow coming along. Now for the darker colour, I'm going to use the purple we've already had and add yet more blue. Give it a good mix. And a bit of, there we go, a little bit of water. Yes, so now we're getting a nice dark purple, a maroony colour. And that's just finishing off this bottom one here. Splendid. There we go, so there is my finished rainbow. So we've got to let that dry, and then once it's dried we need to cut it out. So we've got scissors we can cut it out with, but make sure you get grown-up help. So I'll come back to you for the final stage when we assemble everything together and stick on a few clouds as well. So the clouds are made out of cotton wool, so if you've got any cotton wool, we'll get that ready next. So I'll see you shortly when we've got to this stage, when we've got our rainbow, our two trunks, two trees and a base. Okay, see you shortly. Hello and welcome back. Have we all got what we need to assemble our final design? Here's my rainbow. I'm just going to cut it out. Make sure though, as I said before, whenever you use scissors, you always get help from a grown-up. I'm just cutting it out. It's drying lovely. The first one I did, we had to let it dry overnight, but this one is dried in a minute, matter of minutes. Here, so there's our rainbow. Now before we do anything else, I've got some here, if I can open the packet. Let's just, bit of brute force. Just some cleansing wipes, face wipes. And if you open them up in half, give them a little scrunch, you've got what resembles lovely clouds. And I'm going to stick those on with a bit of PVA glue. Ooh. PVA glue going everywhere. Everything's melting. Everything's melting. So So I'll just get that off from here and just pop a bit of glue. Now they don't need to be completely flat because clouds are all different shapes, and as I stick them on I'm scrunching them up slightly as well. I'll even just pull bits out just to make it so you've got lovely floaty clouds, fluffy floaty clouds on there. And another one, open it, pull it apart and just stick it down. Just have a bit of one down the bottom here. There we go, so these are our fluffy clouds. We can then move this section out of the way to give ourselves a bit more room. I'll pop that on the floor for now. And this is when we bring in all our other bits. Lovely. And I've also got some trusty double-sided tape here. And first of all, to stick on the trees, decide which way up you want them. Maybe, you know, might want one up, one down, so they're slightly different. I think that's what I'll do. And simply a piece of double-sided tape onto the front there. Double-sided sticky tape. Okay, and just before I do this section, actually, if you look at the tops to here, I've made 2 slots that the rainbow will go into, so they need to be opposite one another. So it's good if you just pop your ruler on, just snip down, and that way you get them in the right position. Okay, so the slots on there, again, help from a grown-up. We can now stick our trees on. Bit of sticky tape. What would we do without sticky tape? That is the question. And then this one. Here we go, so our 2 trees. And I'm just going to then slot, this is tricky here. Let's see, this is when things go wrong. I've just taken my tree back off. I slot that in. There we go. I'll stick my tree on. Now, you might have stronger glue than me. That isn't melting. There we go. Look at that. So here we have our rainbow, and finally it does stand like that, but I do think it's nice to have a base. So I've got a front of my base, front and back of my base. I've just painted along that angle there, and decide where you want it, and then you can just to secure it, add a little bit of sticky tape. Not compulsory, but just just to be on the safe side. Or if you have a glue gun, you could use a glue gun, but again, you have to have help to use that. And then just sits on. Voila! And there we have our NHS Carers rainbow. So that can go in your window. Then every Thursday when we go out to clap for carers, they can see that as well. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this rather hot, blustery craft club. And I look forward to seeing what you make. So enjoy it very much, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.